Hi creative friends, this is Soraya and thank you so much for being here. So before I turn the camera on, I was looking at this piece and there is a lot of it that I unexpectedly just love the way it came together. They might seem like really small things, but to me, they just really make this piece come alive in a way where I can honor the intention that I set forth when I started this, which is to keep about 70% of Connie's work and to balance it and insert my own voice with my visual language, but to still have Connie's work be front and center, without me keeping like all of her work. So I hope I'm making sense. I'm just gonna bring this up closer, and can you see that like orange line from my Stabilo? I am just loving it so much. Now, I might need to just go over it a little bit more over here, but over here it's just really zinging. And that's because orange and blue are just such a great complementary pairing. It just really makes things zing. It's like one of my all-time favorite things to do is to mix orange and blue. Like I'm just gonna kind of like, ooh, look at that. I'm just so in love with this. Like I am absolutely going to be using this in another journal of mine. Just this line in orange, it's just so delicious. Like I want to follow it. Like when I see it on the page, it's so intriguing. I want to just follow wherever it leads. Ugh, like look at that. So I am going to do that. And then and I also put some collage over here. And this was just some like found papers. I think this is part of a museum map. And I soaked it in tea. And then I used my Posca marker to make some marks on top of it, which I really love. And that's a great thing about collage, you guys, is like you can just pick it up and, see, does it fit in here? And sometimes, surprisingly, it's just like so unexpected the way things will kind of work out in a way that you just can't plan. And I love that about collage. Like, it's so user-friendly. And let me see here. Okay. I don't want to use this too much because sometimes, like, I have a heavy hand, but sometimes what I find is that when there's just a little bit of something, it has a lot more visual weight than if I put too much of it. And a good example from this piece that is not mine is Connie's, this yellow over here. It's a very, very little bit of yellow, like right there, and then right there, right there, right there, right there, and a little bit over here. And here. But they're so tiny compared to the page, but it just has so much visual weight because there is such a small amount. So I'm really loving that yellow. I'm going to keep it. So I think what I'm going to do, I am waiting for my Liquitex acrylic ink in burnt sienna to come in, but I don't know when it's going to come in, maybe today or tomorrow. But in the meantime, I am going to work on the face a little bit. I'm just going to like start building up a little bit. And let me see here. So you guys, if you are working in a way like this, like it doesn't have to be this book, but just say you're working in a book where you're incorporating what's on the page into your own work, solely for the purposes of learning, strengthening your visual language, etc. And just say like, when you first start out, you're kind of apprehensive about covering up the page, which, you know, when I first got this book, I was like, oh my God, like how on earth am I going to cover up Connie's beautiful work? And so I reached out to her and I was like, Connie, you know, I don't know how to cover up your work, type of thing. And she said something in her brilliant way that really made me understand it more. And she said, you know, don't look at it as I'm covering up her work. Look at it as I'm collaborating with her. So when I switched that, the way I was thinking about it, it made all the difference in the world, because now think about it. Just think, like, use your favorite artist. So just say like you have Van Gogh, for instance, and just say you had the opportunity. I mean, can you imagine the opportunity to freaking work with Van Gogh? Like, just think about it, you guys. Like, seriously, you can pick any artist in history and you have the opportunity of a lifetime to work with this artist. So would you be terrified? Yes, of course. Would you be insecure? Yes, of course. All of those things. But would you take that opportunity? Yeah, of course. So, you know, if you just switch it around that way and you look at it like, hey, I am, you know, I have the opportunity to work with this artist, because that's what you're doing. You are working with their visual language. Like, this is all 100% Connie's. I have not worked on it at all. This is 100% Connie's visual language. None of it is mine. So when I come in here now and I work over top of it, I'm putting my stories on here, my visual language, my marks, my colors, etc. I am actually collaborating with her. And what an opportunity that is. Like, seriously, you guys, thinking about it that way really just changed everything for me, because now I was like, oh my God, like what a brilliant way of working. What an opportunity. And no, I would not give that up for anything. So that really helped me, you know, when I thought about it that way. So if there's anybody out there who's struggling, trust me, I feel your pain. But if we just switch it around a little bit, it really made a difference for me in how I approached the page. And I do have a Van Gogh book actually that I made a video series, I think, on Van Gogh, me working over top of his Starry Night. And let me see here. So, you know, because like this, the face over here of Connie's is just suggested, I don't know if I don't know. Do I want to put features on here? I don't know. I'm gonna sketch them in, but let's see. Well, I'm just gonna like kind of sketch it in, but I don't know if I'm gonna make full features. I don't know yet. I mean, it could be interesting because then my eyes are gonna go, you know, to the face, and then it's gonna kind of, there's gonna be a tension there. So, but I'm not going to make a face here, I don't think. I'm just gonna kind of suggest it. So these two kind of faces are gonna be similar, maybe. So in my mind, I make up stories, and so I'm thinking like, you know, these two figures could be like from a dream, or like ancestral, my like an ancestral lineage. And so the faces on this one could be like kind of like just suggested, but then this is going to be more fleshed out, maybe. So I kind of make stories like that. Just, I don't know, it's just part of my visual language, really. It's like I want to tell the story. So I'm just gonna kind of suggest it, and I'm gonna follow Connie's lead here because she only has like one eye kind of suggested, and I'm just gonna follow her lead a little bit on that. Okay. And now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use my Posca marker here. And I was thinking about this before I started. So when I started, like Connie had these marks here. They were kind of like yellow, like just marks. It looked like rain, like yellow rain, but I covered it up with the blue. But now I think I'm gonna go in and I am just gonna put some dots. I think I'm gonna put like dots around this figure here. And then maybe the other figure, I don't know. Ooh, I like that though. I do like that. Okay. And I was thinking of adding oil pastels. So that's really something I want to do. But I'm going to leave that for the last layer. Ooh, I like that a lot. See, now with this one, because there's this blue kind of halo effect around the figure, I don't know if I can't do the same thing, so maybe I'm gonna use lines, maybe. No, that's not. Let's see. That's not really working out. No, that's not. Okay, I'm just gonna leave that. I'm just gonna leave that over there, and yeah, do I wanna? So you guys, I'm just thinking out loud, which I'm hoping is gonna be helpful if somebody's watching this and working in this way, like, or even if you're not working in this way, it's just, you know, I'm just trying to figure out like my decisions I want to make. So I don't know if I want to keep like, I don't know if I want to keep like this kind of purpley pinky part here. I don't know. I think what I want to do is I want to make this a solid here. I want to make this, see how there's like all this like orange here? I want to bring that orange over here. I want to kind of maybe make it solid, and then later on when it dries, maybe I can put my Posca markers on there. I don't know. Ooh, I like that. I like that. That just kind of was a happy little accident there. I really like that. Okay, and I think I'm gonna, now I don't want to cover up too much of Connie's work because I did set that intention to kind of like keeps about 70% of it. Now a lot of this is Connie's actually. But I feel like I have successfully like inserted enough of my visual language so it's not like too Connie, even though I did keep a lot of her stuff, and that was my goal. So I'm really happy about that, that I feel like I have kept her work. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna keep her lines over here, but I think I want to make it a little bit darker. Like I do love those lines, but I just want them just a little bit darker. So I'm not gonna do, I'm just going over it. Well, actually, I did make some of my own marks there, but I'm gonna try to keep like her marks and just make it like a little bit darker. Now, let me just explain something here, you guys. Another great reason to work in a book like this is, okay, so I'll try to simplify this as just be as basic as I can. So when we do something with our hand, so basically we have muscle memory, and it's the same thing, like just say you're working out, you're doing something new, you build muscle memory. Your body like has its own brain, and your body stores information. And so when I'm doing something using my hand, like painting, it stores that, I have a muscle memory of it. So now when I am, say, going over Connie's lines like so, I'm building up a muscle memory of working in this way. So when I go and work in another journal that's not Connie's, it's totally my own stuff, I have this muscle memory of working like this, of doing this, you know, these marks or whatever. And, you know, it may come out exactly, or it may come out a little bit differently. But the point is that I am building muscle memory, and it's so important, you guys, to understand this and to use it to our advantage. The point is, I don't want to copy Connie's visual language. Of course, I don't, like, you know, I don't want to do that. However, I can take, you know, Connie's visual language, and I can filter it through my own visual language, and maybe something stronger, newer, different, can come out of it. But it's like I'm taking this like fertilizer. I'll use a garden analogy. I'm taking this and like I'm using it as fertilizer. It's gonna break down, it's gonna come out in a different way. So yeah, building muscle memory is like super important, and when we work like this, we can take advantage of that. So anyways, you guys, I am gonna let this completely dry. I'm gonna think about what I want to do, and I think I'm only gonna have one more part to it because I just want to add some oil pastels, and I'm gonna figure out what I want to do here. Like, do I want to keep this? Do I want to put some writing? I'm thinking like maybe text on here, like me just handwriting. That would be good. But I'm really loving a lot of what's going on here. So I'll bring it up closer just so the camera can pick up on stuff and just see like what's going on. And if you've watched all the way to the end, thank you so much, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.